Hitambat, speaker, author of the leadership adventure, The 5 Powerful Secrets Every Leader Should Know, and founder of Be Great Training. So I want to bring you a story, and the story is about crabs. And it goes like this. So some fishermen, they went out to sea and they caught some crabs in a net, and they took those crabs and they put them into buckets. Now these buckets were not sealed. The fishermen don't have to actually seal these buckets because none of the crabs can escape. And you're asking the question, how come the crabs can't escape the bucket if it's got no lid on it? And the reason for that is every time a crab tries to climb up and get out of that bucket, another crab will grab its leg and pull it back down again. And this happens continuously, right? So none of the crabs can escape because every time one tries to get out, escape, the other crabs pull it back down. And this story is a metaphor for life in many, many ways, right? And it's something perhaps that all of us have experienced at times. When we try to progress in our life, when we try to basically raise ourselves up in some way, do something different, go outside of the norm, okay? Let's say, you want to progress and achieve success financially. You want to progress in another way or do something different. What happens sometimes? What do we experience sometimes? And I'm sure you've probably experienced this. You can experience other people not being very happy about you changing, okay? It could be that people feel jealous. It could be that people feel insecure, and they'll do things to try and keep you down or to keep you at the same level that they're at, just like those crabs in the bucket. And it's a very, very human thing, okay? So I'm not sort of pointing fingers. I'm talking about all of us, because all of us have experienced probably all of us have experienced where we've been on the receiving end of other people being jealous of us, and times where we've felt jealous of others. It's a very natural human thing. There's probably been times in our life where we've probably sensed that somebody feels a little bit insecure. And certainly all of us have our own insecurities, whether we like to admit it or not. Okay, of course we do, because it's a human phenomenon. Now, that thing about people trying to keep you down or maybe insult you or not be happy about you sort of progressing. Sometimes it's jealousy, sometimes it's done out of a vindictive nature, but a lot of the time it's just because psychologically you're messing with people's comfort zones. You see, people have a sort of perception of you. They have a perception of themselves, and they have a perception of the people in their life and how the world works. Okay, and it's a comfort zone, right? And as soon as you start to do things that sort of kind of start to challenge their comfort zone, right? Their perception of you, right? It's actually making them challenge perceptions of themselves. They feel insecure because they already have a fixed view of where you are and what your ability is. And here's the key message of this video, right? You cannot allow other people's limitations and projections stop you from being the greatest version that you can be. It can't stop you from achieving your potential because this is your life. So no matter how much you may love the people in your life, no matter how much, they're not, the people in your life are not necessarily doing things out of jealousy or out of spite. They're just doing it because, you're sometimes messing with their comfort zone. But you can't let that stop you. You've got to still do you. You've got to still achieve your potential. And hopefully people will come around and they'll support your journey, right? One of the reasons why when I formed my company, when I started working with schools, colleges, young people, hard to reach, disengaged young people to begin with, and then I sort of transitioned after I'd written my book into the corporate world, delivering corporate leadership training, well-being, personal development, all of the things that I'm massively, massively passionate about. One of the reasons why I called my company Be Great Training, is because I believe that every single one of us has the seeds of greatness within us. And it's your duty in this life, in this very precious and limited life that we have, right? We're not here forever. To be the greatest version of you that you can possibly be, to shine the brightest that you can, to tap into as much as of your infinite potential as you can, to be the greatest version of you. Be great, right? That's your duty in whatever capacity. Now, it's not about comparing yourself to anyone else, because your greatness is going to be so unique to you. It's not about comparison. We live in this world of comparison, looking here, looking there, social media and all this stuff. Forget all of that. Do you, and don't worry about the crabs, right? There's going to be haters. There's going to be people that are going to try and grab you down in a sort of mean way because they feel insecure. There's going to be other people that feel, oh, you're changing and we're going to lose you, and then it's a question. They're questioning themselves. So it's not done in a mean way. It's sort of done just because you're messing with comfort zones. Regardless of both of those scenarios, you still have to tap into your potential because it's your life. You've got to be the greatest version of you and not worry about sort of the crabs in the bucket, so to speak, right? Don't let other people's limitations, don't let other people's fears, other people's doubts be projected onto you. Just because somebody else feels that they couldn't do it, they're projecting that onto you. Say, oh, you can't do that. You won't be able to do that. Because they feel that they can't do it. That's the reason they're saying it, right? But you cannot, only you know yourself, right? The other part of this is, as well as other people's projections or other people's insecurities or jealousy or whatever, there's your own doubts, your own fears. There's the voice in your head that tells you, oh, I'm not good enough, I can't do it. And that's perhaps another whole video in itself, right? But just briefly to touch on that, it's very important, right, that we empower our self-talk, that we look at our own limiting beliefs. So there's two aspects. It's what other people project onto you, their limiting beliefs, and your own limiting beliefs about yourself. Both of those things, right, you gotta sort of get rid of through inner work, through coaching, and various things, and just shine as bright as you can and be the greatest version that you can possibly be. Be great, and don't worry about the crabs in the bucket. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that thought. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel, Be Great Training. Definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. That's probably where I'm most active at the moment. I deliver a lot of workshops around well-being, personal development, personal growth. I deliver some quite very unique leadership training as well. So please do check that out. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Bye.